morning, receiving teachers, receiving students, and ATEs. Thank you. You may be seated. Okay, let's revise on our previous lesson. For this morning, I'd like you to fill in the table that is on the whiteboard, and also it's on the screen. You are to change this fraction number into a decimal. Then you are to change this into a percentage. Second activity, it is given in percentage. You are to change this back to decimal and then back to fraction. So I will give you 3 minutes to get this completed within your own groups. You may start. Okay, I think our 3 minutes is up. I'd like volunteers to come up the front, and I'd like you to write your answers inside the blank spaces that are being provided on the chart. Who would like to do the first one for us, changing 19 into a decimal? Leonie? Okay, thank you, Leonie. the second activity for us. Let's have a boy this time. Okay, my friend over there. Thank you, Michael. Let's check our answers to see that we have the same as written in our books. 19 changed into a decimal, it is 0.19. Changed into percentage, we have 19%. Now who can tell us how did she got this answer? What formula or method did she use to change this fraction into a decimal? From what you have learned, Roseanne?
19 divided by 100.
Is it correct? Yes. She has divided 19 by 100. There are 2 zeros in 100. When we are changing numbers into a decimal, we are to move how many places to our left? 2 places. So imagine that the decimal point is in front of 19. They have moved 2 decimal places to the left if I am facing the whiteboard. Changing this into a percentage, what is the rule? How did she got 19%? Michael?
Multiply by 100.
Okay. Multiplied 19 over 100 times 100. Why? Who can tell us the reason why did she multiply by 100?
Because the percentage is always over 100.
Well done. Give her 2 big claps. I hope we all have that thought in our mind also. When we want to change a number into a percentage, we always multiply by 100. We will have more of these exercises this morning. Okay, in today's lesson, we are going to learn how to convert decimals to percentage and vice versa, percentage to decimal. To convert a decimal to a percentage, change the decimal to a fraction with a denominator of 100. I have an example given for you. It's up on the screen. Copy it on the board for your students to look at. Example number 1. Convert this decimal to a percentage. 0.29 times 100%. We are to change this decimal into a percentage. Class, what is my answer? 29%. What have I done there? I multiply by 100. What else more did I do? There are 2 things happening. Who can tell the class? If you know the answer, you can tell the class. Okay, Habi?
Convert the decimal to percentage.
Convert the decimal to percentage by multiplying by 100. What was the other thing that we must do? Okay, my friend Rexy, is it?
Divide the numerator by 100 by moving the decimal point 2 places to the left.
Divide the decimal number by moving the decimal point 2 places to the left. Put your hands up if you have the same thought as here. Okay, are we dividing decimals or we are trying to change decimal into a percentage? When we are multiplying, where do we move to? Which direction? To the left or to the right? To the right. How many times? 2. When we are dividing, we move 2 decimal places to the left because we are dividing. Okay, that's the example. From the example, I'd like you to do this activity example. You are to convert this decimal to a percentage, following the example that is already projected for you to see. Only 1 minute because it's only one activity. Okay, our 1 minute is up. Can we have a volunteer to come up and show how you got your answer from the whiteboard? Who would like to do that for us? Okay, Joanita. Okay, very good, Joanita. Did she follow exactly the example that was given? Yes? 0.05 multiplied by 100%. Our answer is, class? 5%. Put your hand up if you got your answer as 5%. Okay, well done. We will go to another rule that is vice versa, converting percentage to a decimal. Change the percentage to a fraction with a denominator of 100. Have a look at the example. Or divide the numerator by 100 by moving the decimal point 2 places to the left. And we have the example that is shown. Convert this percentage to decimal. Our example is 18% divided by 100%. What is our answer? What did they do this time? What is the operation that they used or I used? Division. We are dividing by how many? 100. Where are we moving our decimal point to? To the left. How many times? 2 times. I would like you now to do this activity example. Convert this percentage to decimal. 35%. Okay, we should be finished by now. Can we have somebody to come up the front to do the working out for the rest of the class to see? Who would like to do this one for us? Can we have a boy this time? Okay, Habi? Okay, thank you, Habi. 35% divided by 100%. Class, what is our answer? 0.35. Put your hand up if you have got your answer as 0.35. Hands down. Who can tell the class what did they do with the decimal point? Janita? Oh.
He divided the numerator by 100 by moving the decimal point 2 places to the left.
Very good. Give 5 big claps. Okay, these are just 2 activity examples for you to do. I would like you now to do the following activities. We have done examples. You have activity number 1. Express this percentage as decimals. You have A, 15%, change into decimal. B, 24% to a decimal. Make sure we follow the rule. Okay, I think most of us have finished. I would like you to go on with activity number 2. Express each of these decimals as a percentage. A, 0.07, B, 0.45. Are we all finished? Okay, looks like most of us have finished. Can we have some students to come up to the front to go through the first activity, activity number 1, how you came up with the working out following the example, so that those ones who are still confused will learn from the correction. So we have the first one, 15% to be changed into a decimal. Who would like to do that one for us? Okay, Christy, you do A. Michael, from that end, you do B. Class, let's have a look at those two answers on the board. We have 15% divided by 100%. Christy, can you explain to the class how you got your answer as that?
I divided 100 into 15.
I divide 100 into 15. Is it correct in doing that? Who has other explanation to help it? Elaborate on her explanation from the rule. Leonie or Lini?
15% divided by 100% equals 0.15.
Okay, correct. They have moved the decimal point how many places to the left? 2. That is the point that we are not putting it out. We always move the decimal point. Without moving the decimal point, we shouldn't be having this here. The same applies with B. I hope most of us got those two answers correct. 0.15 for the first activity, A, and 0.24. Let's have 2 students to come up and make corrections to activity number 2. This time you are doing the opposite, changing the decimal number back to percentage. Livingstone and Winnie. Okay, quickly. Can we see the writing from the back, from that end? Okay, you can tell us what must we do when we are writing on the whiteboard? We write big. There's a big space here that we can use to write out our numbers. Okay, the first one we have 0.07. The rule is to change a decimal into a percentage. We must always multiply by 100, which means kerosene,
Move 2 decimal places to left. To right, sorry.
okay, move 2 decimal places to the right. And the same applies for activity B. We have 0.45 times 100, and our answer is 45%. Put your hand up if you got the 2 activities correct. Okay, well done. Make sure we must always go back to the methods and the rules that we have gone through, which is to convert a decimal to a percentage. We must always change the decimal to a fraction with a denominator of 100. To convert a percentage to a decimal, change the percentage to a fraction with a denominator of 100. Those are the two rules that we must follow when we are changing the percentage to decimal and vice versa, decimal back to percentage. You have two additional activities to do for homework. We have number 1, express this percentage to a decimal, 110%. Quickly get this down. You'll do it as your homework. As soon as you finish, you sit up straight. You have the second one. The second one, express this decimal as percentage, 1.06. Okay, these are the two additional activities that you have to do for homework. Make sure you follow the methods that you have learned today. Apply it on those two additional activities. Our key phrase for our keywords for today's lesson are percentages and decimals. Our next lesson will be on fractions and ratios. Materials needed, we need rulers, pencils, and A4 papers. Thank you very much, 80s, for your participation and effort this morning. Good morning, 8 East.